We never got your thoughts. I was going to get to the first hour. We got over it there, but I'm curious.
Okay,
the transfer portal. So that you thought SIP it's been around since 2018.
Well, I mean, it
hasn't been
the legislation went into effect in 2018. The one-time transfer went into effect in 2021. So Bill didn't deal with it at LSU.
Correct. So now that the portal is in play, it is a one-time transfer. You can go from one school to the next for free, and play no problems the next year. What is your stance on that, and has it changed since it started to now?
Oh, it's changed. So the best way I'd put it is 30-plus years of Division I coaching. Everything usually changed about 4% a year. And so there'd be a little tweak when you went out in May, or some little tweak as far as
to recruit
what camp would be like, or something was different. 4% every year for 30 years. And then about in 2020, 21 right there, it changed 80% in 1 year. That's a big deal. That's a lot. That's a lot. Just so you guys just crunch the numbers up. 80. When you threw together the combination of transfer portal and NIL at the same time, that's where things just jumped ridiculous, because you have the ability to transfer, and then also there's going to be money involved, where before it was just transfer. So now you have two scenarios going on. First thing with the portal is that I still believe the product on the field for football is a lot of fun to watch. I think it's been very good to watch. So I think that part of it is still good. It's not that we have not diminished the on field. When you turn the TV on, the numbers are still great. People are watching it, so that part is still very good.
I think so.
But with the portal, obviously, is that it has it doubles what you need a little bit more in office for how you're going to have your recruiting staff, for what you're doing through monitoring freshmen, sophomore, juniors, seniors, and portal people, who's going to be going into the portal. So that's a big thing to see who's available, how when they can be contacted. There's always these conversations you hear on tampering, which whatever you can there. That's just gonna, I'm saying the word happen. That's just the way life is. I don't know why you'd be upset about that, for the fact of that. So-and-so reached out to so-and-so's high school coach. All of a sudden it's like, hey, just let Johnny know if he wants to leave school A at school B, we have a place for him, like that. So in general, that coach / whoever it is will probably let them know, just so you know. And then they might just come back with
that's happening rampant.
And they can easily come back with, oh, appreciate that. No way. I love it here. And that's the end of it. But there's always those things you have to deal with in that area. And then things happen very quickly in the portal when they go in, and how fast they can come out. But remember, you're only dealing with, they say 20%. I think it's a little less than that. That's all you're dealing with. When there's 2,000 people in the portal, you're not dealing with 2,000 people. There's only 20% that are like, hey, that's an asset. Okay. We need him, like that. It said right now only 20% of the people have found other homes that went into the portal. There's a lot of people went in, ill-advised in the portal. I think it's kind of like one of those things. It's like maybe you're on like Tinder, and you're hoping that swiping, and you're just like, you're hoping it works out. Like, hey, I'm going to jump on here, and maybe somebody really cool hits me up. Then all of a sudden, no one hits you up. Then you're just sitting there, because once you go in the portal, you're off the books for that school. Right? They can bring you back, but they don't have to bring you back. And so the moving parts are very intense in the whole thing, and how you're going to recruit it, how you're going to manage your own team is very important. How you manage your team. Sometimes everyone's going to coach the same. That's how the real coach is. You're just going to coach. I'm going to coach the same. I'm going to do my job. And if somebody doesn't, I can't walk around on eggshells all the time, because Johnny may be upset, that he didn't get enough touches in this game, so he may go in the portal. You just do your stuff. That's what good staffs do. That's what the staff here at Nebraska will do. They'll just do their stuff, but they'll have a plan for it, for how do you upgrade your team. But it does help you a lot when all of a sudden it's like, hey, what's your biggest need? It's like the NFL. We need a pass rusher, we need a guard, and we need a safety. Well, right away, that's what you're looking for in that spot in the portal. So it's very difficult. There's a lot of work to it. And eventually there'll be some sort of a crash to it. They'll be able to monitor things a little bit better. As 5 years from now, we won't be having the exact same conversation with what's going on with it. So it's a lot of work. I think it's been good for Nebraska. I haven't monitored who they brought in this year with them, but I'm sure they're doing a great job with that. But it's a lot of work.
You think it's going to crash though? in some capacity?
There's gonna be some way to monitor it better. It won't be the same. So there's gonna be some sort of a
monitor. What part of
the crash is probably gonna be more on the NIL side, because it just won't just keep going like this. Eventually, there's gonna be a time when it's just like the people are gonna figure out we have invested a lot of money in bad players. That's going to come up. They're going to be just like, there's money invested. And, sometimes there's, you got to expect, losses in big operations. So that always happens.
That was our discussion early on. But hey, this is going to be some money that people are going to feel bad that they did that because it didn't pan out well for them. Are they going to keep paying that type of money?
So players? Eventually that's where I say crash is more the combination of portal and NIL together.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, people, if you have a lot of money, you might be inclined to always invest in the next round of hope. All right. Didn't work last time, but I only got a limited amount of time on this earth. I'm going to try it again. They need a pass rusher. The last one didn't work out as well as we wanted, or the last cent, whatever position. But you know what? I got a lot of money, and I'm going to keep it going. I want Nebraska to be good.
That'll continue on.
It will.
You're not going to run into a deal where all of a sudden 2 years now like that didn't work. We're done with that NIL crap.
Somebody might.
There
might be isolated incidents like that.
But you're still going to stay with it.
Yeah.
What happens is you don't get to do your research quite as hard with portal because it happens as a coach, because all of a sudden it could be, hey, John from Kent State just got in the portal. And all of a sudden, you got to know everything. You didn't know he's even going in the portal. And all of a sudden, it's like you're trying to get him on a trip on Friday. He went in on Monday.
And you know nothing about him.
You know nothing about him, and you're trying to find out. So all of a sudden, you can have some character flaws potentially because of the amount of time. When it used to be, you'd start recruiting someone as a sophomore all the way on, and you knew when you walk into a house with Ed Ogeron, like, hey, to the right, there's going to be a cabinet over there. See where all the awards are going to be. Make sure you talk to Aunt Jessie about this and do this. And here's what we're going to have for food. And this is important. We do this and that. That doesn't come up in this situation. Everything just goes full speed, really fast in a lot of situations. And so that makes it very tough on how well you know those people. And then it's like, social media, Facebook, everybody's just a few degrees of separation. Mm-hmm. So as soon as a name comes up, there's always somebody in the staff. I know somebody on that staff. I know somebody, and I'll get a hold of so and so.
DM.
And so you can get a hold of someone, but everyone else is getting a hold of someone else too. So when you see it and you go, oh, that's exciting. Well, guess what? There's another 100 people that think it's exciting too. Yeah. And so it's like when it comes up, there's a lot of stuff going on at one time.
That's why Jake and I have talked about the need maybe for a full-time portal part of the recruiting operations, that someone paid to handle the portal.
Oh, that's already happening. That's everywhere. It's very much just like an NFL board of like, who are the free agents that are up, and we're tracking them, how they played throughout the year. Now but you also know in contract years, when the year starts in the NFL, who's up as a free agent at the end of the year, or what's going to happen, who's going to be available. Here, you don't know. Yeah. You have no idea. And then what's got to be, if I was coaching at a lower level and maybe a group of 5 school or at a FCS school, I would recruit players and say, listen, if you come here to the University of Montana and you play really well, I will help you get to someplace else. Because if you don't think like that, you're crazy. Because if they play well, someone's coming after him. Yeah. So if you have like a freshman All-American kick returner at Toledo, someone's going to notice it.
Would that be unappealing to coach at Toledo now? Then I mean, that's what I always think. Like,
keep getting
but my point is,
because your best players are going to get rated all the time.
So you have to adjust. It's just like the assistant coaches and head coaches right now, and recruiting departments. You have to adjust the portal. It's easy to say, I don't like this.
No, you got.
I want to be at old school. I want it to be like it used to be. Well, it's not like it used to be.
Right.
Move on. It'd be kind of like I don't like to text recruits. I just want to talk to them on the phone. Well, text is the number one way of communication. So figure it out and adapt. Yeah. So you got to adapt really fast. So that's what's going on with the adaptation. And then at those schools, you got also don't get all bent out of shape if the guy's leaving. You just got to move on. And you got to find your niche. You might find yourself a portal person too. But if you get yourself so caught up in trying to hold on to someone like that maybe someone's coming after, then that can just drive you nuts.
Well, I also think in some capacities, the portal, although it drives me and Sip crazy at times, it can be a blessing in disguise, because if you see guys on your roster that aren't playing and they know they want to go elsewhere, it helps you kind of rid of them and get new guys in to replace them, right? Is that a one perk that you would say or not?
Yeah, it's handled different by every university, how it operates with someone that needs to. Like I said, they're getting no playing time. Their options now are very clear. They can now leave easily and still not have to worry about sitting out a year. So that's an option for them. Different places handle it differently with how the conversations go. I know myself, if I felt someone was never going to play for you at that school and they'd had a lot of opportunities to play, I would let them know the situation, like, your scholarship is good, everything is good here. Just so you know, though, when we get to camp, you're not going to get reps.
Ooh.
You're not going, because we moved, so they know where they stand. Where sometimes some kids would just be like, "Yeah, I'll just hang out.
That's a hard conversation."
Yeah, but now if you have a conversation, they can be up, well, I'll have to go somewhere like that. But wouldn't you rather be told that than all of a sudden like that? Then all of a sudden you come and camp starts, and except you tell them, hey, we've been through spring ball, you've had some reps, we got freshmen coming in, we're going to look at them in camp when they come in, because of just kind of that's our evaluation of them like that. So not every, and it's 53-man roster in the NFL. We travel 76 people to a game, and the roster's in the 130s.
So you're not going to get reps for everybody.
No, it's impossible to be able to do that. And so that's why you hope you have, then you have some LRPs, some limited role players that can also have some things that they can do very well. And that might be cover kickoffs, be on the punt team, do some things in special teams, and then be good enough to be that your fifth safety or something on the team that has value to it. So you're always trying to figure out what is your value with them.
All right, good stuff. 464-5685, call or text as always. We do have a phone call.
Yeah, let's hit it.
Peyton has been patiently waiting. Peyton, you're on an early break. Go ahead.
How you guys doing? I love the show.
Thank you, Peyton.
Peyton, do you like the show better with me or without me?
Oh, God, don't do that.
Yeah. Let me help you gentlemen again. This has happened to me twice. I don't know if it's my voice, the accent from Tennessee, but it's Tavy, T-A-V-Y.
Oh, Tavy.
Jeez.
Okay, well,
with the T, we got it now.
This happened last week too.
Tavy?
Apologies. Yeah, Tavy.
All right.
Hey, that's okay. I love the show. Bill Busch, I want to tell you I love you, man. You're a great coach. You put a lot of relevance into the season last year. I don't know how you did it. It's just your great wisdom. But I want to ask you a question. And when you first got to Nebraska, like not your very first time, but your time under Frost, when you got there, I just want to ask you a question. When you came on, you know how you start a new job and you start to see some flaws on the new job that you could probably correct? I just want to know maybe 2 or 3 flaws that you've seen, and I'm going to leave you guys alone. God bless, and go Big Red.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Tavy.
Appreciate that. When you come in and have a chance to work, obviously I was very blessed that Coach Frost gave me the opportunity to come and have a chance to coach at Nebraska, my third, and really, really enjoyed that. I think you take a broad overview of everything. You try to take things that might be able to add to them. I'm always big on anything that might come up that might be an addition. We always want to go through the proper channels of how you communicate that and what's discussed with it. So if there was anything that I saw that I thought could be improved on, and I felt the same way towards myself, if there was people that saw things, whether with the special teams or with the defense, I would hope someone would address it or bring it up to me. And so there were some things that that we talked about that we thought maybe we could do a little bit better with. And those changes were adapted pretty fast. I think it helped a bunch having a true special teams coordinator on the field. That was one of the adjustments that were made, and that went much better this year. And there was little things that come up all the time. There wasn't anything that really jumped out that like, this is appalling, this needs to be changed. I'm talking to the staff about this. Coach Frost had a very good staff. They were doing a very good job. And so I'd always try to add things in from, I just say I got so lucky to be around this group of coaches. Like I talked about, it's, I think 3 slam dunk Hall of Famers and a couple others that probably will. And I throw Kyle Whittingham in there too, who's one of the top five coaches in college coaching, who I worked with him for numerous years also when he was a coordinator and I was his secondary coach. And so I'd always bring things to the table that we did but they always had to fall in line with what we were already somewhat doing. You just don't come out of left field and just, all of a sudden it's going to be, we need to come in give a huge presentation to the team about, we need to go Wishbone. And here it is. And I'm going to bring up, this is Thomas Lott. Check it out. Billy Sims. We pitch it to him. This is good stuff, guys. Yeah. Like that. That's not in line with what was going on. So you don't bring up just off the wall stuff that's just crazy. But if you have little things you can bring up to add in like that, it's always good. And here is the best way to do it. I learned this from a brilliant coach that I'd worked for, and it was like, anytime you brought something up, you better have researched it. Yeah. Don't just be there and go like, I got an idea, and you throw it out, because they would ask me, have you researched it? Well, if you had, no matter what you brought up, it was well respected and listened to, and just say, and here's why. Because I've talked to this coach, and here is what the science says, and here's what this says. Mm-hmm. And it might fly or not, but you better have it researched.
Can't just be a gut feel.
Anything, a gut feel like this. So every time that I brought something up, I had well thought through what it would be. I'd always think through what the rebuttal would probably be if it wasn't accepted, of the why it wasn't, and have a chance to discuss also with this. And then at the same time, then if it didn't fly, move on. It's not something you'll be like, well, we'll revisit this tomorrow morning at that staff meeting. I'll bring it up again. That just kind of move on and go your own way.
Interesting. Yeah. Cause it's really easy for a coach or anybody in this world to quickly identify why something won't work. I mean, I always think, let's talk about why it will work. Why do we always got to go why it won't work? Why it will work is what I want to hear about.
Body language.
Body
language is such a premier thing with me. We started every meeting in special teams with slant. When I walked in, there'd be 90 guys in there. So
slant.
We'd hit like slant. We hit slant real quick with that, and be sit up, lean forward, act interested, nod your head, track the speaker. So how you sit and how you do is something that we would. So body language bother me. Same. So if you're in a meeting, sometimes you go, I'd like to present something. And all of a sudden you see like 3 guys like roll their eyes and like that. And then right away you're just
slump.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, I don't know what
it's early in the morning though.
Yeah. So that would always,
what time your meeting
that would always disgust me like that. Sometimes there'd be different times. It depends on what staff you're on. We practiced here early in the morning. So we were more of an afternoon staff here. Most staffs are 7. I know Nick Saban is 7:30. Some are 7. Some are LSU was 8. It was 8 a.m. 8 a.m. started at 7:44, 4th and 1.
7:44.
4th and 1.
Yeah, maybe I need to get here earlier.
4th and 1.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fine.
What's 4th and 1 when whenever you get here?
I think we operate 4th and 1 most of the time.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. It's very rare we're not 4th and 1 in this show. At least I hope so. Hope to think that. Before we get to break, actually we get to break right now. How about that?
Okay.
I want to talk basketball, but I also have some more football questions for Coach.
Okay. Like, what do you have?
Well, we didn't get into
Prime
next. Well, we can talk Prime. Yeah, I want to talk Deion Sanders for sure.
Outstanding.
Coach Prime.
And then we didn't get fully into if this is a rebuild or a reset for Nebraska next season.
Hit those 2 things.
All right, we'll do that next. More with Coach Busch here on Early Break in the Ticket.